Yes, so cute. You look so cute.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Lynn, I'm so excited to talk to you today. So many things I want to dive into. First of all, season one of
Mhm.
Motherland Fort Salem ended with a bang. So many questions, so many people were left like, okay, I need more. I have to know more. What were your thoughts when you found out you guys have been picked up for a season two?
Oh my God. I mean, first of all, we were all in a lockdown.
Right.
And we were like, we have a little group between the witches and we call it the coven. And we were just texting back and forth, like, have you heard anything? Have you not heard anything? And then Elliot was so amazing to call each and one of us personally and give us the news when he knew that we were going to be picked up. And it was surreal. I had 2 days before I was talking to my dad and explaining to him what that meant, and it's just so great to get to a point where I never got to a second season. There was always something that happened. Either my character got killed, or my love interest would not continue the series,
Right.
or a series was picked up but then canceled. And it's like, so for me, it was a huge moment. Yeah, I'll never forget it.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna let Monique in. Admit. Okay. Um, I have to ask you, for those living under a rock and those unfamiliar with the show, tell the viewers what the premise of the show is about.
So basically, you're following three recruits that get sorry, three young girls that get recruited to go to war college. And there you have General Alder, who basically leads Fort Salem. You follow their storyline, how they get recruited, how they grow as young women, and you also get an understanding of what Fort Salem is. This is an alternate America.
Right.
The roles are reversed. Women are in power. We have a Black female president. Finally, right? I mean, working with Charlie Lee, it's incredible. It just breaks so many taboo. It's where women are in power. We are also witches, and we were threatened for a very long time by the government until Alder signed a deal, and she said, "Look, don't kill my kind. Save me and my kind. Build us a place, and I will go and win your wars." And therefore, they came to an understanding, and Alder has basically been Georgina Washington. She crossed the Delaware. She's the one that shaped America into what it is.
Right. I wanted to dive into your character also. Can you tease or share with us anything about, like I said, season one ended with a bang. Where does season two pick up? Because people are so excited and ready to dive right back in with you guys. Where will we pick up with season two?
With season two, we pick up exactly where we left off.
Okay.
And I think it's great that they did that because it was such a bang that you
Yes.
kind of have to start there again. And from there on, season two takes us on such an incredible journey, and one that even I didn't anticipate.
Mhm.
Getting the scripts was just so exciting because it's the highlight of our month when the second the new script comes in and we read the stories and what happens to all the characters, and even us actors are completely enthralled and we're like, what? No. And
Okay.
how storylines are taken, and how I think this year it's a lot more, it's darker,
Mm,
I find,
mm.
and more mature. And I think it's beautiful because it goes with the maturity and of the girls, them stepping into young womanhood, and you get to follow that and grow with them, and it's beautiful.
What was it like for you guys going back to work in the pandemic? How was it different from when you guys shot season one?
It was completely different, so different, so that it was we needed some time to how do I say that correctly, adapt to
Right.
so much. You consider yourself incredibly lucky that you get to work during a pandemic and when other people don't get that chance. But at the same time, you're all of a sudden in an environment where everyone is double masked. You are seated apart in green rooms, 6 feet apart. Everyone is on their phone or in their books. It was quite isolated, yet I feel like the love and the respect to the work was heightened.
Mm.
It took us 8 months. It took us longer than normal. And it's interesting because I look at this incredible cast and crew, and I think 85% of those people, I've never seen their full face.
Wow.
Not once, because we were always together in the red zone on set. And it was interesting to work with someone so intimately and only have this to communicate with.
Right.
But yeah, you felt privileged that you could work. I think everybody was really taking care of one another because we were so far away. We were not allowed to fly back home. Well, not allowed, but we were asked not to fly back home. And it would have been quite difficult to get back in. Also, you're dealing with quarantine right now. So it was a whole different world than what you normally experience as an actor.
Wow. Your character, Alder, is such a confident and huge presence on screen, right? The confidence oozes out. How has playing this role changed you and had an effect on you personally?
It's a great question. And Alder has had such an effect on me. I mean, I almost get emotional because I had to fight for her. There was a point where I had 2 offers on the table. There was another incredible show that came to me through Netflix. And my team was veering to making the decision and veering the other way. And as an artist, I just instinctively had to choose for Alder because of what you just named, that strength, that confidence. And she scared me so much because she's not that I don't have confidence or, but not like Alder.
Right.
It's a different kind of, it's like she carries that wisdom for so many years. And I was like, how do you shape someone like that? And how do you do that believably? Also, she's American. I'm from Belgium. She was so far. She was so out of my reach that when that audition came to me, I was like, because it did scare me. And that's where the growth lies. I don't want to stay in a comfort zone as an actor. I like to challenge myself. And I think she's been the most challenging. And therefore it did like kind of roll over into my personal life just by, I don't know, in my work, I think being more confident, or the businesswoman that I am behind my own product, and making decisions and carrying, I don't know, just also stepping into a leadership,
Right.
to the girls, the girls that I get to work with. And you are an older generation, and all of a sudden you're not just Alder, but also, Lyne, who gets to set an example. And I want to take that seriously. I hope to bring a presence and to bring a work ethic and respect to everything I do and everyone I meet. So I think she's made a huge impact.
I can tell. I can tell. I have to ask you because that was so beautiful what you just said. What advice would you share with other creatives and other women who are, in a position where they have to choose between, okay, do I go with A or option B? And they're stuck and they're trying to make this decision because, like you said, you chose to go with the option that scared you, right? And sometimes people will go with the option that they're safe and feel comfortable in. What advice could you share with women and our viewers who are watching this who are stuck in that moment or in a place where they're trying to decide option A or option B?
Yeah, look, we often find ourselves in that position where we have to choose, and I had to learn along the way. And I think for me, it comes down to really listening to your instinct, because of course there can be an offer on the table. And in that case, it was also financially, could have been a lot easier to reach for that. And I had to go against that because, I really care about which stories I get to tell. And I really care where my life leads. So I have never stayed in a comfortable situation because for me, it's too much of routine, or it just feel like there's a lack of growth. And therefore I think my constant fluctuation and change and like schedule and everything, it helps me because it always it's always a new start, it's always a new family. It's like a new school, new people, and it just puts you on edge. It kind of shakes you, and we're too easy. I, guilty as charged, before have chosen the easy way out and thought, no, I'm just going to make this comfortable. And of course you can do that. And there's nothing, I'm not going to say that that is not the right choice. Don't get me wrong. But from my experience, and lately, the more I challenge myself into steering into a direction that is uncomfortable, challenging, scary, am I going to be able, that's where I'm going. That's exactly where you need to do. That's exactly what you need to go and do.
Wow, this is so good. I have to ask you, you're a seasoned veteran actress, right? You're not new to this. You're true to this, I like to say. How has working on Motherland Fort Salem been different from other roles and other jobs you've had before in the industry?
Um, I think this production specifically has been different for me because it's the first time I am doing this genre, fantasy, right? Something fictionist. It's not real.
Right.
I come from theater. I'm a drama actor. I've done 4 years university in Antwerp. And it was the first time that I had to step into a world where I was confronted to work with special effects, which was so eye-opening. And working in studios on a lot. That was a very first time for me as well. So I knew, every time when I arrive on a studio set, I'm like a 12-year-old. I'm like a little girl, just like, because I get to go and play. I get to do what I love. And it's such a beautiful space where creatives come together and where you get to do that. Am I veering off the question? Probably.
Oh, no, look, this is so good. Keep going. I can listen to you all day. Seriously.
But I think that was especially different. And then, of course, having to work in the pandemic, but also the biggest change was growing within a TV series, being able to now go to a second season, again, experiencing a growth in your character. The beauty about television, I feel, is that you have, at least the writers have more freedom. When we start filming, not every script is ready. Like you have the first 4 scripts scripted, but then 5 to 10, for example, it's outlined, but not really scripted. So things can change and evolve. And I think it's so beautiful, that rhythm of a TV series, because it can start to grow around characters and personas and what works and what doesn't work. And then you go like, which audience do we need to speak to? And it just fluctuates the whole time. And that is really incredible about it. It's a journey that will surprise you every day. Like we don't know what's coming. Right. Even like hopefully when we get to do a season 3, that's going to be like, what's that going to be? Right.
Right. I have to ask you, are you choosy and picky when it comes to the different projects and the stories that you want to tell? Are you like, if something doesn't sit right with you, the script may be good, the opportunity may be good, but the story doesn't sit right with you? Are you like, no, I'm not going to do that? Can you speak to that a little bit, Lynn?
Yeah. So for me, it's absolutely important which stories come to me and the ones that I will pick and choose to tell. It usually starts by reading the script and getting the information. And when the character, kind of like when I read it, and I usually read it out loud, I usually count on my instinctive reaction of my body, and then like, could I see myself in that? Is this something that I can morph myself into if it's not me? Because more and more I'm trying to find things that are not so stereotypical for how I look, and really try and morph into something else what people wouldn't expect from me. So that for me is important, and also for the challenge as an actor myself, of course. So and it's very much about which stories I want to tell. And I do turn some projects down because if it doesn't fit and feel right, then I don't think, even however passionate I am, I don't think I will do it justice. And then I'd rather give it to someone that does relate to it. Do you know what, does that make sense?
Oh, totally. 1000%. Well, a story that I'm really excited about you telling is coming up because you have been signed on to star in the upcoming reboot of the Gossip Girl series. I'm so excited about this. You
Me too.
play
Thank you.
Helena Bergman, a real estate agent, former top model, obviously, because look at you, you're gorgeous. And you're
Thank you.
the mother of one of the kids. Talk to us about this, Lynn, because I'm super excited about this. This is so good.
This is incredible. I mean, it's crazy because it has been a year of the pandemic, and where the world has felt completely upside down, and I almost had one of the most incredible years in my career, and it's been so paradox, because I was wrapping up in Vancouver, literally saying goodbye to my military fatigues for 8 months,
Right.
and I get the call. I had read for the role, and I got the call from my management, and he's like, "So what do you think about Gossip Girl?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and you're starting and next week, like landing, testing into fittings." Like, I think I had 4 or 5 days to shape this character, where normally, I mean, this one, coming from theater, I have to write stories. I'm journaling about a character. I make a playlist for music. How does she walk? How does she sound? What is her accent? And I had such little time, and it was so far from Alder, which I loved. I was like,
Yes.
coming from Alder and slipping into a Manolo Blahnik, yes, please.
Yes.
But not only
Manolo, you. Yes. I love it, Lynn. Yes.
you see, and that is a joy. But it was also, interesting to shape Helena, because she is European, and I'm, almost thrilled that I get to be the European representation in the series. And Eli Brown plays my son.
Yes.
And I don't know. I mean, I met him, and we had, you have so little time to all of a sudden be like, "Okay, hi, I'm gonna be playing your mom."
Right.
And we had like an instant chemistry, and he's a beautiful actor, and I mean, I fell in love with that boy as if he is my son almost immediately, and we kind of naturally stepped into this relationship together, and found our ways quite naturally, which was, what a beautiful experience, to come out of something so different, and then to meet this cast. I mean, all these beautiful faces and all these beautiful people. I feel so lucky to be able to go from the one family to the other, and have a new group of people, because it's quite daunting. They had been shooting 6 episodes, because Helena comes in the 6th episode, which I love, when a character is introduced like halfway into the series. And it's like, it's your first day of school, and you meet all these people, and I was nervous. I was so nervous. But then basically after the first scene, you kind of go like, "Okay, I think I got her. All right, just trust the process, Lynn. It's all right. You've got her." And it's been so wonderful to be able to play her. And I've lived in New York, so I know that type of woman, and I had a lot of imagination, or not inspiration, I should say, of how to build her and which little things to take from people I know, or however I like to construct a new character.
Did you watch the original Gossip Girl?
I have not watched the whole original Gossip Girl. I have seen episodes of it, and I thought, should I see the whole thing? And then I thought, well, it's a reboot and it's all fresh faces.
Right.
And I was almost like, maybe it's better, especially as playing one of the moms, to not know anything of the kids. So it's better for me, when I am confronted with them, I can be that mother of like, what? Huh? Of like, trying to be in control.
Right. I love that. I cannot wait. Talk to us really quick about, I have so many questions about the show because I'm so excited about it. And I was like, oh, she's perfect for this show. the fashion. You're introduced in episode 6. Do you walk in with a power suit? How are you introduced to us? Can you give us a tease? Give us something.
I think it's wonderful. I mean, Helena is one of the 10 wealthiest women Forbes.
Yeah.
This woman is someone who has fought to build up her own career back in Europe as a model. And I think, being a model and an actor, I think there's a lot of similarities. So I think I can relate to that. And you have to be super tough, especially as a woman. And when you are a beautiful woman, there's a lot of, how do I say that? Well, any woman, there's a lot of predators and a lot of, oh no, this is all, I'm saying this in a very strange way. Please don't edit this out. I need to say this right. Hold on.
No edit.
How do I say this right? I think I can relate to her because of the fight that she fought to become a model, and was then able to let that go because she was an independent woman and thought, okay, what do I want to do next? And probably together with her husband, they were like, okay, let's do this. Let's build this real estate, how do you call that? Empire.
Right.
And is now a businesswoman and so confident as well. And so, in her, how do I say that, in herself, but she knows what she's doing. She's a smart cookie. When people approach her, they know to respect her, and she carries that with her. She comes from Europe. She's German. She comes from a very disciplinary background and is obviously trying to pull that through to her children. Right. And when you see Helena, you meet her in all her grandeur and glory. Wherever she goes, she rents the whole hairdressing salon. She'll rent the whole restaurant. She's always there private. She's got her entourage.
I love it. Lynn, I'm so excited. You have 2 shows coming, one coming back this summer, a new show coming out this summer. Girl, you are booked and busy. You're having a hot girl summer. I'm so excited for you. You have to come back when Gossip Girl comes out. And even when Motherland for Salem, when season 2 finally comes out, you have to come back and talk to us about it. I love everything you're doing. I love your presence. I love your energy. The confidence is oozing, and I'm here for it. So
thank you. I feel so grateful that I was here today. I'm really grateful that you had me today. Thank you.
I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much, Lynn. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Bye.
Where is the buzz? You said was mine.
Where is the buzz?